All right, let's dive into the Okotoks real estate market. And I'll tell you right now, this market is not following the same script as Calgary or even Airdrie. While other markets are cooling, Okotoks is flexing.
What is love?
Inventory is not up huge, prices are holding firm, and serious buyer demand is keeping this town one of the most competitive in the region. The benchmark price in Okotoks for June came to $632,800, and that's essentially a flat month over month, but it's nearly 3% higher than June in 2024. This means prices are holding their ground despite rising supply pressure everywhere else. In fact, Okotoks is one of the only markets in the Calgary region that hasn't seen a price pullback over the past 60 days. We had 72 sales in June and 83 new listings, putting the sales to new listing ratio at 87%. Translation: for almost every new home to hit the market, there was a buyer ready to scoop it up. And the months of supply, still under 2 months, and that's deep into the seller's market. To give you some context compared to the rest of the region, while Calgary sits around 3 months of supply and Airdrie climbed over 3 months of supply for the first time since 2020, Okotoks is just not cooling down. In fact, it's heating up. Cochrane is flattening, Airdrie trending downward, but Okotoks, it's still holding strong with the tightest supply in the region. This is mostly because we don't have a lot of new construction flooding the market here. Builders in Calgary are ramping up, Airdrie has new phases opening up almost monthly, but in Okotoks, there's limited new inventory hitting the MLS and resale homes are being fought over. The detached market in Okotoks continues to carry the town. The benchmark price for detached floated above $715,000, and that's with minimal month-to-month decline. These homes are going quickly when priced right. Days on market is averaging under 24 days, and some of the more desirable pockets are seeing multiple offers again. Semi-detached homes are a bit more of a mix. Pricing is holding fairly firm in the high 590s, and we're seeing stronger interest here simply because the detached home price is now out of reach for a lot of buyers. Row homes and townhomes are experiencing some of the most aggressive year-over-year gains. The benchmark price on row homes is up over 7% compared to June of 2024. It's now floating near $380,000. Buyers are choosing these for affordability and the fact that rent just continues to climb in Okotoks. Apartments are still a pretty small segment in Okotoks, but they are growing fast. Inventory is low, demand is up, and the benchmark price has increased by 14% compared to this time last year. We're now seeing the average sale price climb closer to $295,000, up from the low 260s just 12 months ago. All right, if you've made it this far, you clearly are into this content, so do me a favor. Hit the like button, helps more people see this. And if you want more straight to the point real estate insights without the fluff, make sure to subscribe. I drop videos like this often, very often. I'd actually drop it more if I had more subscribers. So thank you for subbing. Rents in Okotoks are pushing higher across the board. The average 2-bedroom unit is leasing at $2,000 plus, and even basement suites are commanding over $1,400. Investors are eyeing the town again because you get lower purchase prices than Calgary, but rent to price ratio is a lot stronger. And that's such a critical stat for anyone looking to cash flow or at least run close to break even while holding for appreciation. There's a few different reasons that we're seeing such high demand in Okotoks. Firstly, community demand. Schools, safety, and lifestyle amenities keep attracting buyers. Number 2, lack of overbuilding. Unlike Calgary and Airdrie, we're not seeing massive builder supply flood the market, and that's keeping resale competition very strong. Number 3, it's still a commuter town, and as remote and hybrid work continue, people are okay with living further out. Okotoks offers that feel without the disconnect. Number 4, investor rediscovery. As Calgary markets soften and cap rates tighten, Okotoks is becoming a sleeper hit again for long-term investors. Okotoks is still somewhat challenging for buyers because there's limited selection, especially under $500,000. A lot of the homes listed under that number are getting snapped up in under a week and sometimes the first day. First-time buyers are now getting squeezed out of the detached market and turning into townhomes, apartments instead. If you're a buyer in Okotoks right now, these are the 3 things that you need to have. Number 1, a mortgage pre-approval, and you also need to have your deposit ready. Number 2, you need to act fast on showings. You can't wait 3, 4, 5 days after a home has been listed. You ideally need to see it on day 1. And lastly, you need to come in with a strong offer and put your best foot forward, especially if it's a detached home for under $675,000. If you're listing a detached or semi-detached home in Okotoks right now, this is your time. With months of supply this low, you have the upper hand. Proper pricing and professional marketing will still win, but there's less competition and more qualified buyers looking to get in before rate cuts restart upward pricing pressure. Row homes and townhomes are still also in demand, and if you're an owner thinking about selling a newer 2-bedroom townhome, you're sitting on equity and a strong buyer demand. So the outlook for the rest of the year, we may still see a slight uptick in listings over July and August, but the buyer demand is expected to hold very strong. Interest rates may fall again in Q3 and Q4, bringing even more buyers back into the fold. The market will likely stay strong until new inventory is introduced, but until then, expect continued upward pressure on entry-level homes. Okotoks continues to be a market where demand outpaces supply. Prices are up, inventory is low, and while other communities are starting to show signs of downward trends, Okotoks is still cruising along with no major slowdowns in sight. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing, now is the time to run your numbers and have a strategy and act. If you want a breakdown of your neighborhood, help navigate a purchase, or insight into how to list and win in this market, reach out.